Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have some quick updates to share about Donald Trump's legal cases and the upcoming sentencing in his hush money and election interference case. Might not be that quick, but anyway, Juan Merchan, who's the judge overseeing the election interference and hush money case, he denied Trump's request to delay the sentencing, which is scheduled for this Friday, January 10th. So Trump appealed. And the New York Appeals Court also kicked him to the curb because Trump's attorney had to admit in the emergency hearing that there's no case law, there's no evidence to show that presidential immunity exists to someone who hasn't even taken office yet. And Trump's own actions came back to bite him and haunt him because his attorney also tried to argue, oh, well, it's just too close to the inauguration for Trump to be sentenced. Well, the appellate judge reminded him that Trump was the one who repeatedly requested a delay. He kept putting off this sentencing. He kept saying, oh, no, we have to wait and do it after the election. So, as we all knew would happen, Trump ran to his allies on the Supreme Court, and his attorneys are now asking them to delay Trump's sentencing. And they're arguing that, quote, President Trump is currently engaged in the most crucial and sensitive task of preparing to assume the executive power in less than 2 weeks, all of which are essential to the United States' national security and vital interests. These demands of time, energy, and attention are just as unconstitutionally burdensome and disruptive during the presidential transition as during the presidency itself. Really? Womp womp and thoughts and prayers. If this guy has time to host a celebration for John Eastman and the other coup clowns that tried to help him overturn the last election, then he has time for a hearing. And this isn't even in person. So this is BS. If the Supreme Court gives into this, this will just serve as even more evidence of what a joke that they've become. What other convict would get this deal? What other convict would get to repeatedly delay their sentencing and then say, oh, you know what? I'm too busy with my upcoming job, not even my current job, even though I don't have to show up in person for this hearing. I can just, show up on Zoom from the comfort of my own home. Anyway, Liberal Justice Sonia Sotomayor received this request because she deals with the emergency cases in New York. Well, legal experts are saying she's probably going to take it to the whole court. She's probably going to ask them to all weigh in on this matter. So we'll see. And then in another matter, Trump scored a partial win. So the Department of Justice had announced that they were going to release the findings of Special Counsel Jack Smith. And this is in regard to both of his investigations into Trump. So, of course, Trump whined, he bitched all about, being treated unfairly and blah, blah, blah. So Trump humper, Judge Aileen Cannon, she stepped in and she blocked the release of everything because it was all one and the same. So even though, she was only overseeing and slow walking the classified documents case until she completely dismissed it, caved to Trump in, 2024, the special counsel still had the other portion of this, of their investigation into the attempted coup. So the special counsel appealed her decision to drop the case initially last year after she decided, no, he can't be prosecuted at all because he's so special. So he appealed that decision, and that issue is still pending. I mean, it hasn't been resolved by the appellate court yet, but the Justice Department shelved the charges, which I'm sure you guys all know. He shelved the charges against Trump after Trump was elected because they have this ridiculous memo in the Department of Justice that says a sitting president can't be prosecuted, but democracy and rule of law and all that, BS that they try to shove down our throats. So the case against Trump's co-defendants, though, that's still hanging in the balance. So that the appellate court still needs to make a decision as to whether or not that part of the case can move forward. So that's the excuse that Cannon used to block the release of this report, because she said, well, if you release this, it could interfere in that case. You know, if the appellate court says yes, the case can move forward, these two men can still be tried. It could influence potential jurors. It would be, you know, it's unethical to do so. It's wrong. So here's where things stand now. The Justice Department has agreed to withhold from the public the classified documents investigation report until the case against Trump's co-defendants has been settled. Obviously, that means we're never going to see it, because Trump's new attorney general, whoever that may be, it's looking like it's, you know, probably going to be Pam Bondi, who is another Trump sycophant. She will definitely, if it's her, whoever it is, they're going to end it. They're going to destroy all the evidence, I have no doubt. So Attorney General Merrick Garland, the current Attorney General, said he's going to allow members of Congress access to the report. So the only thing we can hope for is that one of them will find a way to leak the information after Trump takes office. Also, the Justice Department will be releasing the portion of the report related to Trump's alleged attempted coup, you know, his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. And so we'll see what happens with that. Last but not least, though, the Justice Department's Inspector General released a report of their own saying that senior members of the department's public affairs team may have violated federal laws during Trump's first administration. So according to the report, these DOJ officials tried to influence the 2020 election to keep Trump in office, and they did it by leaking COVID investigation details to the press. So the IG mentions 3 different officials who hatched a plan. They were investigating COVID deaths in states run by Democrats. Then they released this quote unquote non-public DOJ investigative information to specific reporters just days prior to the 2020 election. And this was for the explicit purpose of helping Trump win. And we know this because ABC News obtained a copy of the partially redacted IG report, and they wrote that on October 17th of 2020, one of these senior public affairs officials texted his colleagues and said, quote, "I'm trying to get them to do letters to New Jersey and New York, respectively, on nursing homes. Would like to package them together and let a certain tabloid break it. Will be our last play on them before election, but it's a big one." And then they go on to say that, quote, "A week before the election, on October 27, 2020, the investigative information was provided to the New York area tabloid, which published a story that night accusing New York authorities of undercounting deaths in nursing homes." And the IG's report says, quote, "The conduct of these senior officials raised serious questions about partisan political motivation for their actions in proximity to the 2020 election." Gee, you think? So they wanted to make blue states look bad, blue state leaders in particular, look bad for the amount of COVID deaths in state-run facilities, you know, state-run nursing homes. And so they released those reports purposely for that reason, to try to undermine the Democrats. I don't know exactly how that would make Joe Biden look bad and make him lose, but that's what they were trying to do, it seems. And check this out. So Donald Trump's final Attorney General, Bill Barr, he refused to be interviewed for this investigation. He is such scum. He truly is. Anyway, the Inspector General referred his findings to the U.S. Office of Special Counsel So these officials could be investigated for violating the Hatch Act, which, to be honest, it's kind of a toothless law that says government officials can't advocate for a political candidate while they're on the job or while they're on government property. So, who knows? Nothing ever really happens with people with the Hatch Act, even if they're found in violation of that act. So, and again, Trump is coming into office, so of course he's going to kill this. He's going to kill the investigation as soon as he takes office this month. So there you go. No justice in America. And we have Merrick Garland to thank for so much of this, really all of it, if you think about it. He should have filed charges, or he should have had a special counsel on January 7th of 2021. Or well, he wasn't, I take that back. On January 20th of 2021, as soon as Joe Biden was sworn into office and Merrick Garland became the Attorney General, he should have had something going. And instead, he dropped the ball. Because, as I keep saying, Democrats want to look so fair and impartial, and oh, what are they going to say about us on right-wing media? Fox News is going to attack me, and the right won't like me, and so I don't want to do anything partisan. And so here's what we get. This is what we get. We get run over. And this is why the Democrats are losing favor with the American people, because people are tired of their mamby-pamby, weak-ass bullshit. I know I am. I am not putting up with it anymore. So unless they start bringing in populists, unless they start bringing in fighters, I have no use for the Democratic Party either. I will never, in a million years, never, as long as there's breath in my body, vote for a Republican again after the crap that they've pulled with Donald Trump. But the Democrats are losing me too. So they better pull it together. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.